Finishing off on New Year's Eve, his first season at A&M, brought to you by Holiday Inn Express via the Radius. Coach, thanks so much for making time. Congratulations. What an amazing end to the season, and what an amazing first season it has been.
Yeah, it has been, Paul. We were very happy with the things we accomplished. We learned as we did it, but finished off the right way. Finished on a 4-game win streak and learned to play a bowl game and how to play in a bowl game, and played very well and finished the game. Played well in all 3 phases. It's always feels good to end the season like that.
Yeah, especially in such a dominating fashion, and I know bowl games can be taken and we're a lot of debate about the importance of them. But for your team and watching that game, and I was only watching on television, I wasn't coaching in it, but it seemed like that was very important to them.
It really was. The kids wanted to win it. We had some seniors. They had seniors that had never won a bowl game, so they wanted to prepare. They played well, and like I say, NC State offensively was very dynamic, and we played extremely well on defense. We're physical, ran the football, and Kellen threw the ball well, and we were good in special teams. So it was a complete team effort, and put all 3 phases together. It always feels good to do it at the end.
When you end the season like this, put into words what it means and what you take from that in moving forward.
Well, people say, does it carry momentum? I don't know if it carries momentum because your team changes, but what it does, it gives you something to reflect on and your kids to understand. Because, listen, football, learning to play a bowl game is extremely hard in preparing for it. I know people think, why is that such a big deal? But we're the only sport that plays and then waits a month to play again. And there's an art for kids in understanding the work you got to put in, the conditioning. It's almost like going back to training camp. You got to run and condition and stay in shape and learn to do that. And then when you learn to finish that way and all the things you preached and do it that way, it's a great learning curve for your kids going into future games and hopefully playoff games and, championship games in the future.
And it's a big conversation. That. Everyone's debating players skipping games, players not. Where are you on where we are right now? You've won a national championship in the last BCS game. What about where we go from here?
That's the thing that does scare me about the playoff situation. And we try to minimize these games. I think that's what makes college football special. These games are. And I understand. I understand both sides of it. I understand the kid not wanting to do it, but I also understanding guys wanting to keep playing and playing with their team and finishing out. For instance, when we were at Florida State, Dalvin Cook, who was going to be a high pick, and I asked him. I said, and then somebody asked him a thing, and Dalvin said, "Coach, that didn't even cross my mind. I want to finish." Some kids do, some kids don't. That's just going to be a preference. And I hate to see it. I understand it, but it's just the world we're living in today. But in playoff games, I don't think you'll ever see them sit out. Because it's a chance to win a championship. I wish we didn't now. But I think, if we could find some kind of insurance for them or something that could guarantee where their draft status is to even help, maybe you can do it late in the season by NFL standards or something to help it. Because I don't want to see the bowl games go. I'm a traditionalist, Paul. I really am. I still think the bowl games are very important and what it brings to teams, and also building organizations like ourselves who's in the first year, getting those 15 practices, getting the play. It's a whole other sprint, developing your team. I still think it's a big part of college football.
How do you get a team ready? And you probably have been there, not often because you've been in the playoffs a couple of times, and obviously this year was different. But when you kind of sense your team doesn't want to be there, and we've seen this earlier in the week with some of your friends and in the business. Do you know that, and is there anything you can do about it?
I've only been a part of that kind of once, but not to an extent. We just had a few guys one year years ago, but I've never really been a part of that. But I think the honest thing about it is be honest, and they got to understand something. You're playing a game again. People are evaluating you. It's still a chance for you to brand yourself. They say, what do I want to do? Well, every time you play, it's an exhibition of branding. You brand your individual brand so your team can be successful, and let the NFL guys see that, you're a player. You're a guy. If you're not going to be a first-round draft pick, and they say, when you're taking third, fourth, fifth, sixth-round draft picks, those guys want to see guys who are hungry to play, willing to do anything in the world, and tell them, listen, every time you play, you're sending a message about who you are, and you want to be successful at the next level. If you want to do that, it's important that you understand that, because people are watching. And so if you're going to do it right. We just try to identify it, talk about it. I guess that's about all you can do, really.